All right, welcome back to the stream. I'm back from my trip to Iceland, and I also got COVID uh, for the first time ever, and so I've been I've been dealing with that. Fuck, that's been too bad. Just want to show, I still wanted to game a little, but I didn't want to get on and have to try and cough while coughing up. So I just figure I'll show you guys what I did. Very simple. Very simple. It's just 100 old. That's all. Nothing too big. I was so frustrated by the last time that I streamed and just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Reggie Electric and having to walk away from that. I was like, I never want this to happen again. And so I did the only thing that I really could do to guarantee that, which I think 100 is enough for one. Regieleki is hands down going to be my easiest of the Titan Pokemon because it just can't do anything against my counts. But I want to do Registeel next, mainly because I have Steelixes to craft Great Balls, and Steelixes only drop Great Balls every other time, essentially. And that's just like that was like the hang up for getting 100 Ultra Balls. Even though I could only get like 6 Life Force at a time, 4 Ultra Balls, I felt like I spent forever sitting there going around with Steelixes, and they'd give me sand like every other time. Also, someone asked about Dark-type Pokemon on one of my older videos. I never really looked into it, so in case you're wondering, you need to place your Dark-type Pokemon down at night, and then they'll be happy, like my Sable. And it can just be on grass. Shoot, I forgot that I have a weird encounter that can happen on my fence post. Oh, that's pretty high level. Man. Yeah, so I figure, like I said in my last stream, I figure I'll just keep it casual and we'll just go in and we'll catch it, and it should be easy. Make sure I got. I'll heal him. Hello, Luigi Vania. I think that's how you say it. If so, I really do like that as a name. Okay, here we go. We got our Garchomp, we got 100 Ultra. Okay. I think Dragon Claw may kill it. Oh, it did a move that can actually hit. So it knows ancient power, and then the other move that it knows is that can touch me streams. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to use a lot. Yeah, Putzman, welcome back. See how long this takes. But yeah, so I got COVID at the end of, well, right when I got back from Iceland. I actually think that I got it in Iceland, and was just lucky enough to test negative and get home before like symptom onset, because it would have sucked to just be stuck in Iceland for 2 weeks. I brought my laptop just in case that happened, but it would have been so expensive. But yeah, I've spent the last, essentially, I spent a week and a half, rented a van, drove around Iceland. I think it came out to around 36 hours of driving, and like we didn't do. It's called the Ring Road, and we went off the Ring Road a couple places, and that added a few more hours to our trip. But it was super cool, and it was so it's so crazy because, well, first off, there's just like waterfalls everywhere. Uh, you just you'll just be driving along the road and you just see this just absolutely massive waterfall, and like it's funny because like no one will be at, like some waterfalls people just drive past, and other ones are like the ones to stop at, and the ones that people generally stop at, they stop at for good reason. They tend to be the bigger ones, or ones that you can like walk around behind the waterfall, which is super cool. But like everywhere you go and look in Iceland, it looks like you're on a tropical island. It's like lush and green, right? You have moss and fields everywhere, these big cliffs and waterfalls, but it's just cold. Uh, and what's actually also interesting about Iceland is that because it's so I guess the word is like young in terms of rocks, it doesn't have wheel. It doesn't have a lot of like rich soil, and so most of the like it can't really support a lot of like serious plant growth. It only has like one tree that's native to the island, brought over by birds, and it's like a birch tree. It doesn't grow that tall. It's more like a bush, and apart from that, like every other tree that's like tall has been like brought in and cultivated for it. And so the vast majority of what you look at when you drive around the island are rocks and moss, which is really, really weird to just see entire landscapes. It'll just be like you'll just have fields of essentially lava. But it's super cool. The other really crazy thing about Iceland is that in terms of world history, it's really young. It was like officially settled in 930 AD, and like they've essentially just used they just like clear rocks out of fields and grow like hay to feed animals, and that was for literally like 1,000 years of their history. That's just like what Icelandic people did, is they just had herds of sheep, and they had fields, but they only had fields just as a way to feed all of their sheep. And it's really cool because there are so many scenic farms that you'll just like drive past driving around the island, because what are all these farmers like? Where did they build their farms? Well, they built them next to rivers, and like there's the highlands, which are more central to Iceland, and then there's like the coast. And so a lot of people, the vast majority of people, don't live in the highlands away from the bays where the boats would be. And so the vast majority of Icelandic farmers would live on the coast. And they're on the coast and they're next to a river. They're not from the highlands. And so you just drive around and you just see all of these farms that are just like built against like the side of a cliff with a waterfall behind. And it's just so cool looking. But it's funny because we did like a tour. We visited a couple museums while we were in Iceland, and there were a couple of them that showed like this is how people live. And it's like this is their houses, and they'd have like stone huts essentially, where you'd stack up stone, and then you'd have like there's again no trees big enough for wood. All wood was imported onto the island. So what did Icelandic people do? They'd use their few pieces of wood they had to build the like frame of their roof, and then they just stack rocks on them and grow grass on their roof or moss, and that was like their house. And we went and toured, and it was just like this house that we were walking through, like it's one room with an attic, was in use until 1970. And again, like I said, 1,000 years of just them living in these half underground houses, taking care of sheep. Like that was literally just what Iceland did for 1,000 years, and it was like, 50 to 100 years ago that they decided. Well, they didn't like. It's not like they were just waiting around. That they really started changing their lifestyle. And this is also something that was so mind blowing. It wasn't until like the 1910s. Well, this isn't like they're behind in like history, but it wasn't until like 1910 that they got hydrothermic power, and it was just a really wealthy farmer who like paid for a just like a setup on his waterfall on his farm, and none of the other farmers wanted to spend the money to build their own hydroelectric like power generators, so they just built it. Farmers built their own out of shipwreck metal that they just found on the beach. And it was crazy because we were going through this like museum of technology, and they just had one on display, and they're just like, yeah, a farmer just handmade this. This farmer went, looked at the hydroelectric generator that the other farmer brought onto the island first time ever, and then just melted it down and made his own out of scraps. which is just the coolest thing ever. It's so hard to fathom that these people, like, we're talking 100 years ago, that there were farmers in Iceland who were just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, like your waterfall can generate electricity by turning a crank. Well, like, sure, like there's a crashed boat outside my house. I'll just go down there and I'll build my own. I don't like how many Ultra Balls I'm using right now, but it's not like I have a better plan. Here we go. I thought I had it for that time. Dang, I was hoping to use under 25. I'm really lucky that Regieleki can only hit me half the time and is not super effective. The other Titans are going to be a huge pain. What I need to do is I need to actually develop a team for this. I need to get a Pokemon that can do what's it called? It's called like Ball Swipe. I think that's what it is, where it guarantees it will leave at least 1 HP left. And, which I actually think Sableye can. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to look into it. And then also I want to get a Pokemon, preferably the same Pokemon that has Ball Swipe, also have a status effect. And then because like at this point I'm sitting outside a den with like 4 legendary Pokemon, and I am ill-equipped for catching all of them. And like Registeel is going to be a huge pain because I don't have a Garchomp equivalent. All right, I'm gonna hold down and be on this one, and it's gonna. Dang it. Um, I'm really surprised by how sucky COVID is, which may be an understatement, but like I've managed to avoid it for years now. And then I also was got the vaccine for it, and so I would assume that I would be generally prepared for what it'd be like. But it was brutal. I mean, I haven't been sick for 2 years because I've been remote anyway. Do you keep up with the game updates? I haven't played it in a while. Waiting. I'm in the Discord. I check it on a rare occasion. Really, I'm subscribed to Sheer. I expect that he'll drop a video in conjunction with any update. I'm playing on 8.3. That's the latest version. I think Sheer said that by the time he gets to version 1, he wants online play, which I don't know like anything about coding, but I think that is a very like ambitious goal to have. And so he has 0.9 and then version 1 that he needs to release, and within that framework also get online play figured out. So I personally am just not expecting any updates for a while. I'm just going off the assumption that 8.3 is going to be how the game will play for like 6 months. Also, I mean, I haven't been going for a while. I was going in and looking for glitches. Oh, not glitches, for people talking about glitches, because I think those get like pretty quick updates. Those are something that Sheer is very actively tagging and flagging when they're brought up. But I don't feel like there's any big ones right. So again, I don't even think you get a minor one. Do you know? I'm assuming based on your comment that Sceptile that isn't in the next batch of Pokemon. I need to go look at the next batch of Pokemon. Now that you've asked, I haven't even really gone in, and I haven't even tried to figure out why, like how they decided what Pokemon would be used and what wouldn't. Because now that you bring it up, it's just like the games I played the most were Gen 1 and Gen 4, so I'm happy with my Garchomp. Yeah, it is crazy how little people talk about this game. To be honest, like I view this game as the anchor of my channel. I think really why people bother watching me, and so I've just sort of like staked myself to an actual creator, Sheer, and I'm just along for the ride because I make videos about it. People look it up. False Swipe would be great. Okay, I need to heal. Yeah, I keep waiting, like, well, not waiting, like act. I'm pretty comfortable with the idea that I can't believe I've thrown 60 Ultra Balls at the guy with no luck. I'm pretty sure that you're just gonna get like that. This game is just on the precipice of just taking off. I mean, already there's so many people that like this. It has like 10 people join the Discord channel every single day, and that's just like Discord, which is not everyone who will ever play this game. And so I'm just looking at it and I'm like, it's gonna blow up on some other social media platform. Someone's someone's gonna blow up with like some big YouTuber's gonna pick it up, or you're gonna see like a tweet go viral, or you're gonna see someone put it. And that's when I just think like you'll see mass adoption. But that's the interesting thing is, like if you do go on YouTube and search for this game, there's a lot of YouTubers who have done at least one video on this game, and they're getting, I think it's not like they're getting like millions of views, but they're still easily in like the 10,000 and above range. And so I just look at it, I'm like, it's gonna reach a point where, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sheer starts being more vocal about his work once version 1 comes out, and he'd be like, okay, look, like I view this game as playable. Right now the people playing it are just sort of play testing for it. I'm so upset that I wasted 70 PokeWilds, Ultra Balls on this guy. Alright, but I just feel like it's inevitable, you know? Like, at the end of the day, the things that exist on the internet don't really have a, you know, they never really go away. Right? Like, it's sort of like a waiting game, I think, for Sheer, because he made a great game. And so it just needs to hit the right avenues, and then it'll explode. And then he'll probably get a cease and desist, and he'll have to stop working on it, but still play it. Yeah, so a lot of people in the Discord were talking about NPCs and side quests. And like, it's weird because I feel like when you go that direction, you are essentially just making a Pokemon fan game, right? Like, okay, you're gonna have to make houses and towns and pre-populate dialogue trees for NPCs, and then at that point, you're basically making your own. And so I honestly prefer this version of the game where you are exploring, like, uninhabited by humans. You're exploring all of these islands. I think it's much more natural for how the game occurs. But I mean, people have been talking about how they want quests and stuff like that in the Discord. I see that all the time. And it seems to be what, I guess, the more vocal people want. And here's how I would do it. If you had to do NPCs and side quests, I would make it so that that's like a set spawn, like your third island or something like that. So your first island will be the one that has the mansion, your second island will be the one with all of the Reggies, and then your third island will be the one where you can actually go and there's like a settlement. There are people who are like, and it can generate like quests where someone will be like, I need manure, or I need berry juice. I think it's berry juice. Where they just like randomly assign something with a fixed prize. I think you can also do like your rotating gyms where you randomly generate different people to battle and different levels. Yeah, that's true. You definitely reach a point where you're just sort of like, okay, like I've done it. Because like I actually think that it's a little awkward at the beginning because you can hit Pokemon in the wild. They're just absolutely massive level differences, but because XP can be accumulated so fast, that rectifies pretty early on. But then after that, like, you get to a point where you're just farming supplies, and that's where it starts to get like a really grindy game. Like, I can't believe I spent 80 Ultra Balls on this. Like, I got 100 Ultra Balls. What was I doing for that? I was just walking up and down roads, collecting, magnets, hard shells, metal coat, and life. And like once you get to that point, it's just like, okay, well, like, what do I what like is this what the end of the game looks like for me? I'm going to grind 100 Ultra Balls. I'm going to roll up to Regieleki and I'm going to throw all 100 at this thing. And I'm not going to catch it. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, I look at it. I'm like, this is like what I'm doing right now. This is like end game content. And I'll be honest, so close. I'll be honest. I don't think NPCs are really going to fix that, right? Like between triggering a legendary encounter and talking with an NPC and collecting supplies for it or battling an NPC, it's like between those two things, I personally would prefer hunting legendary. I like the like mysteriousness around the like overworld encounters, then the sound design and all that fun stuff that goes into those elements. Hey Omri, welcome to the chat. If I don't catch Regieleki in the next 11 Ultra Balls, I think I'm just gonna quit stream and go cry and oh shoot. Oh shoot. I don't even have a slot open. Use a Pokeball? Do I even have a regular Pokeball? Yeah. Okay, here's your Pokeball. Oh darn, that didn't work. So wait, so I'm in a tough spot right now because I don't even have. I need to leave. Can't escape. Okay, I'll beat him up. I need to have an extra slot. It was close. I need to have an extra slot in my team, otherwise, even if I caught it, I wouldn't keep it. So that was actually a huge waste of time. I'm debating. I'm debating just not saving, because if I don't save, I'll get my oh my gosh this one patch of grass. If I don't save, I'll keep all of my 100 Ultra Balls. Here, we'll go back and I'll throw another Pokeball. I'll heal up first. I have one shiny. I have a shiny Venusaur that I actually found in the overworld. I didn't even realize that it was shiny until like after like a week of playing because I never put it in a battle. yeah, I do that. Yeah, my first time building a my farms, I kept each individual Pokemon like separate in their own container with 4 sides, and it was just such a waste of space. I can just line them up. My Gibbles and Garchomps like. They are complaining. just you know, it's just a little. Most of them are level 5 because I breeded them. It's like a child labor sweatshop. Oh great! I was just mashing A. That's okay. He'll be around still. Yeah, it really is the most efficient. I definitely, I keep telling myself eventually I'll make like a really beautiful house with a nice like pasture that has roaming Pokemon happy in their natural environment. But for now, I gotta crank out. I need to grind. Because I need to grind, I'm just gonna to be efficient with it. Alright, alright, I'm gonna throw a Pokeball this time. Okay, we're just one Pokeball, and then we're going back to Ultra Balls. It was paralyzed! Oh! I'm a man of my word, even though it's gonna unparalyze. Like right now, I'm gonna throw a Pokeball. It's gonna unparalyze. Oh, it's fully paralyzed? Oh my gosh. Let's go. I have full health. I'm over level. I'm above its leveling. It's paralyzed. Okay, well, you can't keep every attribute going. Come on. This is gonna kill me. This is gonna kill me. I'm down to 6. I have sat here and I have thrown. Yes! it only took what, like 94 Ultra Balls? Oh my god. Such a sad sight, my child. Your electricity restrained. That's right. But you are still so strong. I desire more. Yeah, I love how this game makes you feel bad for catching legendaries. I think that should be a staple of every Pokemon game. I think every Pokemon game should just I think every Pokemon game should just acknowledge that is bad. When I made my first Pokemon game, I made it so that if you caught all 3 legendary birds, you'd maintain a drought that was going on basically the whole game. And there's only a brief period of time after beating Team Rocket where the drought was over, and there's like this desert overworld area would be fully green with all of these great Pokemon. If you go out of your way to catch the 3 legendary birds again, you fall into another drought and it turns back. I just think that's how it should be. Alright. I did it. Next stream, I'm going to add another row, and I'm gonna start lining up my Titans, put them on display, put them to work. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you in the next stream.